Game one of the NBA Finals is finally here between the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat. So today on the Board YouTube channel, we're going to be previewing that game one for exactly what you can expect to see. We're going to go over betting lines before Pips will be giving out his favorite player props for you to consider ahead of the matchup. Let's get into it. And for the game one preview that we have today, I got my co-host Pips back, taking some time out of his vacation to talk some NBA Finals here. Nuggets against the Heat. Obviously, we did not really see this one coming. We both felt Miami could make that the Celtics series competitive, but maybe not quite get all the way here. So let's go into your first thoughts on this series, because you weren't here for our preview yesterday, before we get into the game one analysis. But first thoughts on this series. How do you expect it to go?
Very difficult for Miami to win away at Denver, like every team so far this season. So home court advantage is huge. Rest advantage is huge. Talent is way on the side of the Denver Nuggets. They are just way more talented, way more depth on the roster. But it's Miami Heat, and even though they started 3-0 in the series against the Boston Celtics, they did show some weaknesses in the game 3, 4, 5, 6. Closed the season great the series greatly, but Boston Celtics couldn't make any shot. They had some variance in their favor in the last two games, and that's very important. Also, JT got hurt. That also helped to shift into their side. So I think the book is set it pretty well. Minus 400 for Denver to win the series. That's where I'm coming to on this series also.
Yeah, and I said in the preview yesterday, Boston's floor is a lot lower than Denver's floor. So if you get like a rough game from Denver, it probably won't be nearly as rough as Boston's game 7 or even Boston's game 6. They saved their worst 2 3-point shooting nights for the 2 most important games of the season. They ended up winning one of them, of course, but they did not win in that game 7. So let's get right into this game one here. Let's pull up the BetStamp odds to help us along with this one. So the game one prices actually kind of reflect what we see from the series prices a little bit as it comes to the money line. Denver, you can find them for minus 350 on Profit Exchange time recording. For Miami, you can find them plus 330, but you can get 300 plus in a lot of different places. The spread for this one is minus 8.5. Over under set in the 218, 219 range. I want to remind you guys, though, when it comes to betting on the NBA Finals, maybe more important than any other time of the season, you got to make sure that you're line shopping and always getting the best price. And it's very simple to do that with the BetStamp app to look through the lines as I just displayed over there. But you also need to be signed up to these sports books to take advantage of these best prices. So you can either go to the link in the description and go to betstamp.app/theboard, or we've added a QR code if you're watching on YouTube to the bottom left corner of the screen. If you are going to sign up to a new sports book, please use our affiliate links, because we get a little bit of support. Regardless of whether you're a winner or a losing bettor, we get the kickback on your sign up, which supports the show. And if you're going to sign up anyways, you may as well help us out. Let's get back into the game one preview over here. Do you think that the prices here are kind of accurate? I know it can be difficult because, we don't know. We haven't seen these teams play each other yet. But do you think that these money line spread and over-under prices are accurate to what you expect?
I kind of think that's pretty sharp, especially because, as you said, we don't know. So setting them like this, I don't think you are confident enough to bet either side. So that probably means it lines sharp.
Yes. Yeah. If you're not sure, you're probably on the right. They're on the right track, at least, with the way they're pricing this one. But Miami, they were like minus 8.5 for game one, the last series. They were minus 9. I think it even closed minus 10 for game 2. They closed around minus 7.5, 8 for game 7. And they won all 3 of those games. So they have a knack for overcoming these spreads. However, Denver are a far superior home team than Boston. Boston, by the way, in the last 2 seasons in the playoffs, I believe it is, they are 11-12 at home in the last 2 playoff seasons. So Denver, I don't expect to see those sort of problems. But what will Miami have to do to come out on top and get ahead in this series?
The biggest thing for them will be keep the ball out of Jokic's hands, and that's quite difficult.
Yeah.
I think we probably see some denials on Jokic. Then we'll see Jokic bringing up the ball by himself, so he gets the ball. That's some first game adjustment probably. Spoel will probably open the game with double teams and ball denial to Jokic, and then maybe in the second half we'll see more Jokic bringing up the ball from to half court. Jokic is so we can I can speak like 10 minutes just from Jokic perspective. If you take away this, he will do this. There is no way to stop Nikola Jokic. So I don't know what's the plan. Like you don't have the second guy to put besides Bema Adebayo. Some teams had, but you can't put Caleb Martin. The main thing of this is Miami Heat just too small. They are too small. If you do anything like Bema Adebayo on Jokic, I don't think anyone else can do it. You can't put Max Strus, you can't put Caleb Martin. What do you do with Kevin Love? Do you start Kevin Love again and put Kevin Love
Don't think they
against
will.
Jokic? Yeah, that won't end well. Now with Adebayo and Caleb Martin at 4, Aaron Gordon has tremendous size advantage. If Jokic is out, he pulled Bema Adebayo from the rim. Where is the rim protection? Because they don't have size to rim protect. Then if Adebayo is on the Jokic, he'll be way up on the elbow.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon will have cuts and post ups against smaller guys and dunks easily inside, like we saw in the last game of the series against the Lakers. Miami Heat always put a lot of help, a lot of zone, and that will be difficult to do against the Nuggets shooting. Michael Porter Jr., KCP, Jamal Murray, who is going to guard Michael Porter Jr. No one has the size to even
I was gonna,
contest
I
his
was gonna
shots.
ask you that one. I don't know who's gonna guard him.
Yeah, even the fourth power forward for Heat is Caleb Martin. He can defend small forward from Denver because he doesn't have size. So this is very difficult. I think we'll need to see some hybrid minutes. Like
Yeah,
okay,
for sure he's got to play.
Yeah, Highsmith. Sorry.
Yeah, Haywood Highsmith.
Yeah, we'll need to see some minutes because they need his size. So maybe even more minutes. It's crazy, but maybe Duncan Robinson defending Michael Porter Jr. makes sense because he at least has some size.
Yeah,
Can he do it?
most teams aren't too afraid of putting smaller guys on Michael Porter Jr., but MPJ did really start to use his size to his advantage in the Lakers series. It will be a point of emphasis from Michael Malone going into this one. And as you said, if you're putting your size on Michael Porter Jr., well, then you're not putting size on Aaron Gordon, and all of a sudden his life is a whole lot easier.
So, wings from the Miami Heat are Caleb Martin and Strus and Butler. Caleb Martin and Strus are 6.5.
Yeah,
6.5. That's just nowhere near good enough to defend Michael Porter Jr. and also Aaron Gordon. So probably Jimmy Butler defending Aaron Gordon. Caleb Martin will probably defend Michael Porter Jr. Yeah, difficult. Also, Jamal Murray's size for Gabe Vincent is also. Gabe Vincent did great on the defense in the last series, but Jamal Murray is just. I think I'll just check, but I think it's like 20 pounds difference.
Yeah, there's size. Denver have size everywhere. And not only do they have size, if Miami goes zone like they did success against Boston,
they have shooting.
Denver going to shoot out of that. So, the only thing I see Miami, like one of their big things they can do here, they're obviously going to help off Aaron Gordon. What is Aaron Gordon going to have to do when people double off him to remain effective throughout this series, but particularly for game one before adjustments happen?
Yeah, we'll see. I think it will be interesting to see what Spo decided to do in this series. We'll see some coaching stuff in this series because
Yeah.
talent-wise, they don't have any chance to win. But coaching, when we add up Spo being some crazy adjustable guy, we'll see some interesting series here from the coaching wise.
Yeah.
Like we'll see something probably no team did this season from Spo, and maybe a recipe for the next couple of seasons to defend this team. But yeah, they are great, and also yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
When I look at the both sides of the court, I just don't see like okay, Bema Adebayo could need to be very more aggressive than he was in the last series. They need to attack Jokic all the time, try to tire him up, defend as many pick and rolls as he can. That's one thing.
Yeah. Will they
Jimmy
do that
Butler,
though? I don't know. Will Bam do that? That's another
I
thing.
think this will be like straight from the coach. Like no, they won't have like Bam Adebayo deciding is he going to be aggressive or not. Coach will demand aggression for him, and that's the only way they can win. So going very hard at Nikola Jokic, both Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. And if Jokic decides to play some way on the level of the screen and two on the ball, that will open up a lot for their shooters, wing shooters, corner shooters. So Keller Martin will have some threes. Struz will have some threes. Duncan Robinson probably will be prevented because he's shooting of pick and roll and dribble handoffs because Jokic will be on the level. So yeah, a ton of good stuff, interesting stuff. We'll see what's going on. Yeah, and I do like some prop bets in this one because I think they will put a lot of bodies on Jokic, and no one has the size to defend Jokic. Even Bam Adebayo don't have the size to
Yeah.
defend. He can do a good job on Jokic,
Jokic
like
has
most.
feasted this matchup
Yeah, but
in
yeah,
recent
he's
times.
just no chance for him to stop Jokic. They'll bring some help. They'll try some zone. Jokic will have so many good chances for get assists. And yeah, I think Jokic triple double at plus 100 at BetMGM and DraftKings looks great for
Yep.
this game.
Yep.
Also, yeah, also like Max Strus over 13 and a half point rebounds and assists minus 115 at BetMGM.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Few
also
places to grab that one. Yep.
yeah. So I'll explain quickly this one. So in the series against the Bucks, first series against the Bucks, they stayed close to their. They didn't help a lot. They just played drop coverage without helping. So Max Strus had uh, difficult job to do in that series. So he was under this. Then he got the series against the Knicks, and he was going over in every game. On this line, we bet it on the show a couple of times.
Mhm.
And then again against the Boston Celtics, he covered in 4 out of 6, 4 out of 7. Even though they didn't, they stayed on their players. They didn't help a lot. They let Butler play one on one. They let Bam Adebayo play one on one. So a lot of one on one game, and Struz, who is spot up shooter and dribble handoff shooter, didn't have a great defensive scheme in front of himself to succeed. But now in this series, I think it will be back to some more cuts behind Jokic, showing on the level, some corner threes from Michael Porter poor rotation or someone else poor rotation. So yeah, I think bounce back series for Max Strus, and I like this one as well.
Okay.
Also, something to consider. I think Jamal Murray 25 knockout. We'll see how they defend him, but something to monitor. I think that's maybe too high for if the Miami decides to show with Bam Adebayo on the level, but maybe they just play drop coverage and defend Jokic. So we need to see that. That's one thing to monitor. And Jeff Green shouldn't be getting many minutes in this series, so his PRI probably under. And yeah, that's all from from prop sides in the first game.
Oh, so a lot to consider from a prop perspective there. Some good looks. Even though it's, I guess, you don't have the full information on the adjustments going into game one, it's probably a little bit easier to win the earlier it is in the series before it gets really, really tight in
Yeah.
terms of the value that you're getting with the wagers. But definitely some great things to consider here. Um, how about we finish off with your series prediction? I yesterday said I have Denver in 5. What do you have for this series?
Same. Only because I don't expect I think my Denver should close this at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Butler, as good as he is, I don't think he's going to be at the level of Jokic. He won't be able to match Jokic like he did Tatum, like he did Giannis, or he was better than
Yeah.
both those guys. Not quite here. Denver's size, Denver's shooting. Yeah. All of these things factor in. So that is our preview for game one. We'll have plenty of other content for the rest of the NBA Finals. So make sure you're following or subscribe to the Board HQ channels. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Rate and review 5 stars. You're listening as well. Take a minute of your day to support the channel in podcast form. As always, if you are going to sign up to new sportsbook, make sure you're using our affiliate code with betstamp.app/theboard or the QR code in the bottom of your screen if you are watching. But we will see you again next time for some more playoff previews for the NBA Finals.